Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to May I Scraplift You. So this layout I found on Pinterest by W.E. Murphy, and I don't know if they made the layout or if they pinned the layout, but this is where I found it. So that's the information I have. Now this layout has mixed media look in the background here, and I'm actually going to use this pre-printed paper from Turn the Page. It's paper 19 back when Paige Evans did it under Pink Paisley. So I have that. I have some die cuts, I got some paper pads, I got some dies, and then I have two photos. Now this layout only has one, but I want to put two photos. This is at Alcatraz, so let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I have my products, and like you know, I'm going to be using two photos instead of one. So I got to figure out the positioning. I'm going to put them on top of each other, but I'm not going to stack them one right on top of the other. What I'm going to do is put them at a cute little angle. So that's going to go. I'm going to flip through this paper pad to determine what exactly I want to use as my photo mats. I'm going to use two different photo mats. Now, this is something that you could do, or you could have paper where you're using the same photo mat. Now, of course, since my paper pad is a 6x6 paper pad, I am going to have to trim down my photos to make it work. Now, this is something I don't mind doing when I have, you know, photos like these where cutting off that little bit is not going to ruin my photo. Don't do this to like an heirloom photo where it's the only copy and it's the most important photograph of your life. Don't trim it down to fit it on a paper pad. Just don't do it, okay? Okay, now I decided, since the background paper in the layout, wow, I'm almost out of coffee creamer. I'm making coffee right now. But anyway, I'm all distracted because my coffee creamer's all gone. Oh, okay, it's back. The thought is back. Since that inspiration layout looked like mixed media and paint and everything, I wanted to give at least that sort of vibe. So I grabbed my white acrylic paint, used my brush that I use just for dry brushing, and dry brushed it on there. And then of course I needed to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to go ahead and use this Chroma Mist from Brutus Monroe. It is Pearl, I think it's called. And I sprinkle that around the page as well. So it's just going to give me a little bit of something in the background. It's not going to totally mixed media it up, if you know what I mean. It's just going to give that little kiss, that little touch. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my photos together, and then I decide that I want to pop this up on some fun foam. So I go to my stash of fun foam and I grab some. And this should not be taking me this long. There we go. Oh, that's right. I got distracted by the ribbons that were sitting over there and decided that I needed some of that too. So I grabbed some of those. The silver crinkly ribbon does not make it onto the layout because I already have rose gold in the die cuts and gold in what you'll see soon. And I just decided that I didn't need silver crinkle on the layout either. Now this is cream colored tulle. And honestly, you guys, I don't know if you can even notice that it's cream colored instead of a white tulle. I just don't know if it's that visible. And you know, I'm not upset that like you can't tell the difference in color the way I use it in my scrapbooking, because I got it on clearance, right? Like I just don't care. I just don't care that much. So I'm not concerned about it. Like, is it white? Is it cream? We can't tell the difference, Sandy. I don't care. You know what I mean? So now I've got my coffee, and we're gonna walk back upstairs together while I'm doing this voiceover. Okay, so I get my photos down. They are popped up on the fun foam. You see the tool, or you might not see the tool. And no, the tool is not the one talking to you right now. So I'm going to trim that tool down because it's hanging off the side of the layout and I can't have that. Now I was certain that this little leaf wreath was going to be up there at the top of the layout. Certain. I mean, I even nouveau'd the sucker out of that thing, right? Like, I just knew that that was going there. It doesn't. It doesn't. I end up taking it off. So, spoiler alert. So now I've got this going on in my life. I've got the ribbon. I'm going to put that over on the left-hand side of the photos because I really feel like it can add, right? I don't know if you've noticed this, but the fabric and the textiles and the stuff like that are really making me happy right now with my scrapbooking. And I seem to be buying a good amount of it. And I mean, let's face it, right now I work at Hobby Lobby and the clearance is on and I get my discount on top of that. So it makes it very, very appealing to buy the stuff that I like and that I'm into right now at a discount. What I do want to say though is I'm not buying stuff just because it's on clearance. I'm buying stuff that I like. I'm buying stuff that I enjoy. I am buying stuff that I know I will use. So even though I feel like I'm on this little mini spending splurge, I know it's not like how I used to do where I would just buy it because it was cheap or I would buy it because it's on clearance. It's stuff that I like and it makes it even more enticing that it's on clearance. So my mind has flipped a little bit, right? Like when I used to shop, it used to be, what can I get for cheap? And could I possibly ever use this? Maybe, but oh man, I should get it. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. Well, that ended up with me having a bunch of cheap stuff in my room that I really didn't use. And it didn't matter how cheap it was still a waste of money. And I probably could have not bought all that cheap crap and just spent the money on something that I liked and something that I used. You know? I think about this from time to time. When I start looking around my room and I see all the orange Hobby Lobby clearance stickers, I make myself stop and think, did I buy that because I wanted it and I can use it, or did I buy it because it was cheap? Because it's very, very easy to fall back into I'm buying this because it's cheap mindset. It's very, very easy. So yeah, I didn't want to do that. I won't want to do that. So I'm trying to be very aware of what I'm doing. I'm trying to be very aware of what I'm spending and what I'm buying. Probably more aware of what I'm buying than what I'm spending. If we're brutally honest, like I just bought a bunch of scrapbooking stuff. You know, I placed my Brutus Monroe order. I just bought some clearance stuff at work. So and I feel like I shop in spurts, right? Like I buy something, I'm like buy, and then I stop. Then I buy something, I'm like buy, and then I stop. So I feel like I'm a spurt shopper, which is why I really don't do no spend challenges. Haven't done them in a couple years because I feel like I have much better control over what I'm buying and when I'm buying it. You know, it might not seem that way, but I definitely have a lot more stuff in my room that is less consumable, I want to say. And the consumables are being consumed. Like I'm thinking about my pattern paper specifically, right? Well, I mean, I've bought an excess of 6x6 paper pads recently, but those were almost halfway gone, and now I filled my tote back up. So I got to get them down again before I buy more. But my Calyx unit used to have eight bins just full of paper, full of patterned paper. And I'm down to two squares instead of 8 squares. So do I ever want that much pattern paper again in my life? I don't think I want that much pattern paper again in my life. But I feel like, And I mean, I guess I could even say that it's really 1.5 squares of pattern paper, because half of a square is just Paper House paper, because I was on the design team and I got a wicked discount, and I did very well on my affiliate links and things, so I got a ridiculous amount of paper. I probably need to go through the Paper House paper. There's a lot of Paper House paper that I just use as staples, and then there's some in there that I probably won't use. So I do need to go through that. And I was just, I was just going to say, I was going to talk about spending and shopping and stuff like that while I was doing the die cutting, because I didn't edit it out of the video. And then I just looked down and realized that I've done most of the scrapbooking and I'm still talking about the shopping. So sorry guys, sometimes my videos end up like this where I just run my mouth. Christopher even sings a little song about it when I run my mouth at him. Because I run my mouth and I know it. And that's fine, right? Like, it's fine. Anyway, and I'm still running my mouth about running my mouth instead of talking about the scrapbook layout. So I went ahead and found some letter stickers and some word stickers, and I decided to title this page Wow Sweet Wall. Now you won't see me adhere these down, but I do use my Nuvo Deluxe after the camera turns off and put glue on all of these things. So I used the die cuts and also the gold die cuts that I ran through my little Sidekick machine. And that paper that I used is just a cheapy 6x6 paper pad that I picked up at Joann's. It's their house brand. So I just picked that up real quick. And now I'm going to add in some hearts. And then after I add in the hearts, I'm going to grab these kind of like gold flake rhinestone / enamel dot things. I think are gorgeous. I love them so much. I haven't put them away yet. They still sit at the top of my table to just grab and use. But anyway, this is going to be it for this Alcatraz layout, and I'm good with it. I like the layout. I like the pops of gold. I like the little bits of paint and splatter that you can see in the background. I love the tulle, which I really don't think you can tell that it's cream, guys, but it's there. I love the sparkly bits. I just, this layout is just checking the boxes for me this time, right? And sometimes that's good. Sometimes you just have a layout you love. Anyway, I am finally going to shut up. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.